So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take our data for the analysis of percent copper in your unknown, and we're going to import it into an Excel document and allow that spreadsheet to do some of our calculations for us. So the first thing I'm going to do is just highlight my data and go ahead and copy it. And then I'm going to go into an Excel document and I'm going to go ahead and paste it. Okay, so now I have the mass and the absorbance. I need a little room to work, so I'm going to get this out of my way here. So what we want to do, in order to make a graph, we want to make a graph of absorbance versus molarity rather than absorbance versus mass of copper. So the first thing we're going to do is change mass of copper into molarity. So if you think about that, we have to take the grams and divide it by the molar mass of our copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate. And then we have to divide by the volume of our volumetric flask. So I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to say equals, okay, and I click here, so it equals that box divided by the molar mass of the copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate divided by the volume of the flask, which was 100 milliliters or 0.1 liters. And then I just hit return. So now I've gotten Excel to do my work for me, which is kind of cool. But even cooler, if I click on this box, do you see down here in the bottom right corner there's a little square? If I take that and I drag it, it repeats that calculation for every other box. So now it's done all my work for me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and label this as molarity so I remember what it is. Okay, and now I'm going to bring this, put it back here. Okay, so now when we make graphs, what you want to do is you always want to put your X value first and your Y value second. And all we have to do is highlight them. Okay, and I'm going to click on chart up here. And I'm going to choose a scatter. I want an XY scatter. I want a marked scatter, so it will just give me the points without a line. And look, it made me a graph. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bigger so I can see it. I don't need this series thing, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. So if we look, our data is pretty good. All right, so as a class, you did a nice job of getting everything on pretty close to a straight line. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and click on a point, and then I'm going to do control click, and I'll get this box. What I want to do is add a trend line. I click on this options box here, display equation on chart, and I say OK. So now I've got my equation, which is going to give me my, trying to make it bigger, not quite successfully, but that's okay, I'll get there in a minute. So I've got my slope, right, 50.96, and I've got my y-intercept. All I have left to do now is label some stuff, okay? So I'm going to go to chart layout, chart title. I'm going to do a title above the chart, and I'm just going to say percent copper class data. You can call it anything you want that is sort of relevant. Axis titles, I'm going to go to horizontal, title below the axis. So this is, remember, this is their molarity. Okay, so moles per liter. So don't forget you need a title and you need your units. Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick my vertical one and I'm going to rotate it because it kind of looks cool that way. And I'm going to say absorbance, and there are no units. Okay, so I now have a graph. I've managed to let Excel do the calculations for me, and I've turned it into a graph, which you can now print or you can copy into your lab report. And that's it.